Thanks. You saw me fidgeting.
Yeah, you look fine.
Thanks.
You have to go through all that. All right.
Good evening, everyone. Come on in.
Come on in. Get my thing together. Get Maybe next time. We streaming from? Where you streaming from? Let us know. Let us know where you're streaming from. Let us know where you're streaming from. All right, Chris Kurtz, what's up, bro? Mary Terrace, Mrs. Terry, God bless you.
Dorothy,
what's up?
Welcome.
I just had me some heavenly food.
Let's see how long you keep that cup, y'all.
I can't keep it long tonight. I got to broke my cup.
Aww.
So I'm gonna keep it though, but I'm just gonna keep as much juice up to this spot because I like my stuff. I like my styrofoam cups. All right. Come on in. What's up, Stephanie? Trillis, what's up? Tiana, Karen, what's up? Hello.
Good evening. Got a hot topic tonight.
Yeah, let me see. My Wi-Fi looked like I saw it freeze a second. Let me make sure we're good. No, we're good. All right. What's up, y'all? So
kind of chilly.
It is kind of chilly out here, but we're gonna do what we gotta do. We're going outside because we have children and they make a lot of noise. Then someone has a dog and dogs make noise and be chirping and the dog.
We have a dog. He's our family pet. He's a part of the family.
She got a dog.
And he's looking at us right now.
I know.
He's being so good.
Yeah. Okay. So, Friday Night Live. If you don't know, my name is JOMO.
I'm Charmaine.
We get together on Friday nights and we keep it real, raw, and relevant. Our whole goal is to give you information to help you navigate through relationships / marriage. We've been married now 23 years, creeping on 24. Been together almost since 95, so that's almost 26 years of suffering in silence. No, I'm playing. We have had a tremendous journey, and it's only by the grace of God that we're here. And we just try to help people understand that you can navigate through it too, if you're willing to put in the work. Understand marriage is work, and if you're willing to work, your marriage can work. So tonight we're delving into a deep topic in reference to relationship. But before we get in, I have a couple cousins chronicles.
Yes.
Well, it was last weekend. Last weekend was Valentine's Day.
Right.
And my wife had said something to me. She says, JOMO, it's Valentine's Day. Now, she had told me a couple weeks before, it's Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day. Now, let me help you. When you hear your significant other keep reminding you that it's a day, I think it's something you should remember. So she just kept saying.
And we normally don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
No, we don't. But she just kept saying, JOMO, it's Valentine's Day.
I just feel like because of COVID, we haven't really done anything special. So I wanted to make sure you knew. So
she kept reminding me it was Valentine's Day. So then, I was thinking to myself, okay, now, because flowers are so cliche, chocolates, that doesn't. So I said, what? I need to find something new and creative. Now, obviously, we could buy a purse or buy this or buy that, but that gets played out. Now, the reason why I'm saying these things is don't allow money to limit your creativity.
Right.
Too many times we feel like we can't do or can't provide because we don't have the money. Now, let me be clear. You need money, okay? The Bible says money answereth all. So you need money, but it should not be the dominant factor in a gift.
Right.
So I started doing my research. I said, what? Let me see what people do. And I was looking. I said, oh my gosh, I saw an idea. The problem was for me to order it, it would take 2 to 3 weeks for me to get it. So I got in the office and I started creating. I said, let me see how this looks. And I kept working it. Finally, I said, you know what? This my word. I took out one of the frames of my diplomas, threw that to the side.
Is that where that frame came from?
Don't worry about it. Don't go there right now. I'm all up in my story now. Don't even worry about that frame. Okay, that frame is gone.
You done took one of our diplomas out of the frame.
We graduated. It don't matter no more. Listen, we ain't gonna get no more jobs. This is our job for the rest of our life. We don't need another job. We locked in.
JOMO.
It's JOMO Charmaine. We locked in.
Not even the purpose. Charmaine, it was like decoration.
Charmaine, let me finish my story.
Finish your story.
So I took one of the plaques off the wall and put my plaque in there and hooked it up. Now, let me be clear. We had extra frames in a cabinet that were not being used. Okay, they were old certificates that we don't even use anymore because we have an updated certificate. Got it? So there's no harm, no foul here.
So it's like if it was our masters, you took the masters out because we have a PhD?
No, it was like a certificate for a license.
Oh, okay.
So that ain't deep. So anyway, so I put it all together. I put it in my car, and we went to Ruth Chris Thursday night because Valentine's. That's crazy.
And go on. I'll let you tell your story.
So we went there and had a great dinner and great service. Great guy. And anyway, we had a wonderful time. And she told me, but it was kind of like a surprise. It was cool. It was really nice. Mm-hmm. So we went out and we got in the car, and I opened up my trunk and I pulled out the first gift. I was like, man, I forgot the second gift, but it was another gift. What was it? Oh no, I can't tell you what that was. It was lingerie. It was Victoria's Secret.
But what was nice about it was we actually had a conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I don't even know how we got on a conversation about lingerie. And I said, "You don't even like lingerie." He was like, "Yes, I do." And I said, "You've never bought me lingerie, have you?"
I don't remember.
I don't think he's bought me lingerie before. So I didn't think it was a big deal for him because.
To be clear, lingerie is an accessory. I already got the package. You know what I'm saying? That's my point of view.
It could be nice.
No, I'm not saying it's not nice. I'm just saying it's not necessary. But once I heard she said that, I said, I'm gonna fix that.
Yeah. So he surprised me with lingerie, but the gift that he made was really nice, and I really appreciated it. It meant a lot to me that he spent time. Remember on something, and he was being thoughtful.
Yes.
And it was all of the special dates, and since we've been together, he had those dates and what they meant to us.
Here it is. I'm not going to be selfish because I love you, brothers. It's a piece of paper, and on the top it says, "What a difference a day makes."
Yeah. And
then I had the day we got married, the day we had our first child, second child, third child.
Like all the important dates.
And then the next date we're not going to talk about is when we have our next breakthrough.
Yeah.
And that was it. Got some nice cardstock paper and hit print. Now, I watched how the person designed it, and I put my graphic design skills on it. You know what I mean? I put some stank on it. You know what I mean? So, it looked really well. And I try to tell people it's not just the money. Some of the best gifts I've given her, it was
the written letter when we were broke.
The poem. Yes. I wrote her a poem when we were broke.
Yes.
I found her family heirlooms.
Yeah.
I paid a little bit, but it wasn't much. It was more time invested.
Right.
Because she wanted this gold family heirlooms from her grandfather. Mm-hmm. And she said, I just wanted it. So I started searching for this family heirloom, and I found the person who had it and got it back for her. Right. And my point is, some of the greatest gifts you can give people have nothing to do with money.
Right.
And I just want to bust that whole Valentine bubble that you have to buy something expensive for it to have value.
Right.
Got it?
You can still have a special night, day, and it not cost you arm and a leg.
Correct. Because so many people say, I can't do this because I don't have the money.
And ladies, it doesn't always have to be the guy planning everything. I was going to mention that I made the reservation for the restaurant to surprise him. Yeah. So it doesn't always have to be the guy planning everything.
I really appreciate it, and they had plenty of room separated.
Right.
It was a good situation.
It was cool.
All right. Next one. I got 3 this week, y'all. 3 cousin chronicles. The next one was, man, I forgot what day it was this week, but she said, Jomo, I reached out to one of my old friends. They hadn't had made contact in about 15 years.
Right.
And I was so proud of her because the communication didn't end properly.
Right.
And I said, it's such a big move to reach out and try to reconcile your past. Right. And sometimes we just keep moving, not realizing that might be something that may be holding you back in the future. And I just say, man, I am so godly proud of you to make a move like that. Some people never go back and fix stuff. You know what Jesus said? Jesus said this when the lepers got blind, a couple, I think it's one or two. Some came back and said, thank you. Some people never say thank you, just keep on moving in life. And I was just so proud of her because that's maturity. Sometimes we just cut people off and say, well, I'm done with them versus really trying to say, okay, what happened? How can we reconcile? How can we be better? Right. So that was awesome.
I think it was healing for both of us. Amen. It's really cool.
And my last Cousin's Chronicle, this was hilarious. It was hilarious. So we have been recording classes. So I got so much material that I have to get out of my head and get digitized. So we've been recording all the time. And just so happened this week, man, we had some challenges. And so I said, you know what? I said this. I said, which is so funny. I told her, you know what? You are actually worth all the hell you put me through. And she started laughing. She's like, oh, that's so sweet. And
I kissed him.
And kissed me. And my point to you, you should be so real in your relationship. See, Pastor Ty told me this, and it's so funny. He says, when you get a thoroughbred, you got a whole bunch of maintenance. And it's so true. If you want something that is...
But it could have went left if we were in a different place.
Yes.
Like, it could have been offensive if we were in a different place.
Yeah, no. It was, but again, we are at a place in our relationship that we can just be honest like that.
Right.
Because Charmaine's a lot. She's a lot. I'm not saying just, she's a lot. And she's a lot. And
really, JOMO?
No, but I'm a lot too. I ain't got no problem with that. I'm a lot. I know. She's a perfectionist. Yeah. She's a perfectionist. She's type A. And,
I'm just so thankful, godly thankful for all the type A women out there that go to our church in the name of Jesus.
Anyway, so
we get stuff done.
I see, you know what? You're worth the hell. Because my point is, this chick.
We're a good team.
This chick, she's a producer. She's a graphic designer. She's an editor.
We're a good team.
It's like God said, listen, JOMO, if you're going to be a pastor, I'm going to hook you up with a chick that can do graphic design, who can edit, who can do movies, who can do makeup. And she could do makeup. She was a makeup artist. She was a model. She did acting. I said, golly. So, when you get a lot, it comes with a lot. And I said, you know what? You're worth the hell. And the reason why I say this is some of you right now are in frustrated relationships. And
with a lot of emotion.
And you have to identify there's something that you went into it with. And there's a benefit. But if you only focus on the negatives, you're never going to see the positives.
Right.
So what I do every now and then, I remind myself of the gift she is to me.
That's good.
Like we were driving, she was driving and I was talking to her. She had a lunch meeting at Jackson's or something like that. And I was telling her she was a little bit off. She's like, how you know where I'm going? I said, well,
watching me drive.
Because, on my cell phone, I see where my Tesla is at all times. So I said, you passed the place. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Ladies, really? Do you feel me?
If you take my car, I know where you're at. That's all I'm saying.
I see you park my car in the front.
I see you park my car. Yes, I do. I'm like that. I'm one of them. I am. So,
I was thinking he was crazy enough to drive past the restaurant and make his circles around the building.
No. I got an app on my, I'm not going to tell you all my business. Anyway, and we were talking, saying, JOMO, what are we going to do to make our church better? What ideas can we think about? What can we do to be creative? And I love how we are just feeding off of each other. to make what we do better. All right. So here we go, y'all.
All right.
Tonight we're dealing with adultery. Okay. So
Idolatry.
Adultery. So anyway, it's stepping outside your marriage. That's the gist of it. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, how people try, oh, it was an emotional adultery. It was a spiritual adultery. Hell no. We call it what physical. You having sex with somebody out your marriage. I'm going straight forward. Let's not play no games. All right. So
you were sleeping with somebody else.
Amen. So I was studying it today and I found a doctor. His name is Dr. Wyatt Fisher. I'm going to give him credit. I got no problem giving him credit because I always want to give you good information.
Right.
So a couple things I thought about. We're going to start tonight. We're not going to finish tonight.
This is part one.
This is part one. God willing, we get through step 5. All right. And we'll come back next week and get through the last 5. So research states that 50% of all relationships are going to deal with adultery. I'm going to say it again. And it's actually marriages. 50% of all marriages will deal with adultery. Okay, what's the divorce rate? About 50% too. So what you said?
Not a lot of relationships survive adultery.
Correct. So you better figure out your plan. Not saying you are expecting or wanting. I'm just saying the odds are 50% of marriages have some adultery. Okay, so
as far as recovery.
Now, on average, it takes 6 months to 2 years to get back on course.
Right.
On average, it takes 6 months to 2 years to get back on course.
And we're saying this to say that a lot of times when couples experience adultery, they want things to go back right away, especially the person that committed the offense, because they want things to be the way they were. And what I think people don't realize is both of you all have changed and things won't ever be the way they used to be, but it can be better. So you just have to work on it. But yeah.
Remember, adultery. Anyway,
adultery.
It's traumatic.
Yes.
So those who go through it will have post-traumatic stress syndrome. Real talk.
Yes.
So with that being said, step one in the 10 steps
to recovering from adultery.
Cut them off.
Cut off the person that whoever was committing adultery, they need to cut the person off that they were having out of marriage experience with.
Sex with outside your marriage.
Outside, yeah. So you want to cut them off totally. You can't ease them out. You can't, oh, well, I'm not going to talk to them but 2 times a week.
Your price too high, you got to cut it.
You have to just cut them off totally. No contact, no nothing.
If it means you work together, it means you're getting another job.
That's right.
If it means you live in the same town, you may have to move.
If it means they won't stop you calling you and texting you, it means you need to get a new number.
It means you may need to change your email. You may have to, God forbid, leave your church.
Not the church.
Listen, I can't come to church every Sunday and look at this heifer. Or look at this dude.
And we ain't nobody gonna be looking.
It's gonna be a misunderstanding.
It's gonna be a misunderstanding.
It's gonna be some repercussions and consequences.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a problem. So you have to sever that tie.
That's right.
Okay. Some of you know I had gone through cancer. I had stage 3 colon cancer. And what they had to do, they went in when they found out how serious it was. I found out on a Friday. I was having surgery on Monday.
That's right.
Guess what? I was not going to wait for 2, 3, 4 weeks. I wasn't even going to wait for insurance approval. I put a deposit on that thing because it got to get out. Meaning, so if there is a cancer in your relationship, you can't play with that. Right. You can't worry about anybody's feelings. You got to cut that thing out.
That's right.
Period.
Right.
Now, I was listening to the doctor. He said this. He says, if the social pressure doesn't make your partner end the affair, your next move should be separation with 0 contact until your partner can prove the affair is ended. If after 6 months your partner still hasn't ended the affair, it's time to talk about a divorce. Meaning, if you can't say, I'm done,
Right.
what we talking about? Well, what?
Because they know threesomes. We ain't doing that. I don't know why we would be making jokes, but this is a serious
No, it's a
matter.
serious topic. And our whole goal is to bring information so you can navigate, because 1 out of 2 of us is in pain right now.
Right. And when we talk about cutting ties, you can't then, as the offended spouse, say you want to talk to the person that your spouse had the affair with. That is not going to make you feel better.
What?
You asking them questions about what they did,
What?
where they were at,
What?
when they was talking, what they were talking about, what he had on, did you buy it?
What?
Did you buy lunch that day that he took you out? No, that does not help you heal from the affair. So not only does the spouse that committed adultery need to cut it off, but the spouse that was offended needs to cut it off, because sometimes the spouse that was offended wants to now like have some unrealistic relationship or friendship with the person. Oh yeah, I still talk to the chick. She called me. She be telling me all the stuff that he was doing. No, that's not good. Cut it.
So you have to be mindful too. We were talking about this earlier, Charmaine, how we've had some encounters with people, and they would say, the reason why I have an affair is because my wife, she don't want to do the things this other person wants to do. And the question was, Charmaine says, have you asked your wife if she's willing to do that? Sometimes
a spouse has in their mind, because they have a picture of who their spouse is to them, that they don't even want to approach them with things that they want to do. So then they just go outside of their marriage because they don't feel comfortable enough being totally transparent with their spouse. So you want to do some crazy stuff in bed, but you don't want to tell your spouse. You rather go outside the marriage because what? You're a coward?
Wow, Charmaine, coward?
Yeah, that's very cowardly.
Ooh, that's a hard word.
To just not, want to share, and then what, you're gonna hurt the person? I don't understand it, but I think that's their issue, because if you don't even address what the unmet need is, you didn't even give your spouse the opportunity to fix it or make it right.
And they may like it.
They may love it.
You don't know. So that is not a valid excuse if you've never confronted and said, this is what I need, or this is what I like, or this is what I'd like to try.
Right.
But I've heard that people do that because like this particular person, his wife was like a high-level lady, and the other lady wasn't a high-level lady. So he just thought that just because she was super educated, she didn't want to do certain things. But that's
and she was a virgin when they met. So I think his view of her, and because she was his only sexual experience, he was trying to keep it angelic-like, and she may have wanted to do and you saying high level, he didn't want to say ghetto chick. Oh, you want to say the ghetto chick. Oh, so your wife is bougie. You like bougie. You want to marry bougie, but then you want the ghetto chick in the bed. Well, tell your wife what you want. Yes.
I want a lady too. I want a lady on the street and a freak in the sheets. That's what he said. Well, wow. So I think the key is communication. Before you step out on your spouse, you shouldn't do it, but you need to communicate. Or if you say you're going to do it anyway, go ahead and just cut the relationship, because it's going to be really hard. You can recover, but it's very difficult, painful, arduous. All right. What's the next one, Mama? All right.
Step 2.
Step 2.
You have to share all accounts, all passwords with your partner. Now, we talk about this during our marriage counseling sessions all the time. What are you hiding exactly? If you're not doing anything, why is there even like, I understand you having a password, but why doesn't your spouse have your password? Like I pick up JOMO's phone all the time. And I don't think we've ever had the issue with it. And I don't remember what you said as the reason why we've never had an issue with passwords or whatever. But I just think you should be totally transparent. You should be able to share everything. Your account, your bank accounts and stuff. Your partner should at least know what is going on. I'm not saying, you know, some couples have issues with and one spouse having access to bank accounts because it may have an issue. But
well, here's the thing. If you can't trust the person you say you're going to marry with an account, you shouldn't have married them.
Right.
Real talk. Why you marry somebody? You first off, trust the foundation of principal relationship. If I can't trust you with a password, how am I going to trust you with my life, my body? Are you?
Right.
No, my premise is if I'm going to roll with you, I'm going to roll with you.
And the enemy works in the dark. So you want to bring everything to light. You don't want to give us a foothold for the enemy to step in your relationship.
So if trust is broken, everything has to be shared. Transparency must be a must because we have to rebuild trust. So if someone has broken trust, they've stepped outside the relationship. Now there's new rules. There's no passwords. There's no, everything has to be open. And then I will set the parameters to which we are going to walk this thing out. Right. The offended person has the right to set the rules for how we're going to get back on course. Right. Okay, we're in the gutter. Now, how are we going to get back out of the gutter? And how can you help me regain trust in you? Right. So you should be able to do or be willing to do whatever it takes in order for you to rebuild trust. And remember, trust takes time. Like Dr. Wyatt said, it doesn't come overnight. Understand this also with it. It may not just be all their fault. You might have to take some credit for what happened in your relationship. No, real talk. So I've had some situations where a person said, well, you know, I don't give them anything. They're not gonna get enough from me. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we don't have sex. We don't have sex. We haven't had sex in 2 years. I'm good. For real? I'm good. You not good. You ain't. Ask the people that surround you at work. You got an attitude. You got some issues. Listen, Charmaine got with a lady at church. Got with a lady at church. Her husband was coming to church with attitude every Sunday. I walked up to his wife. I said, look, the brother is backed up and needs some help. Now, don't send him back to this church acting like he acting this Sunday on this Sunday. Break that brother off. Please, for all of our sake. For all of our sake. Now, we giving him grace and mercy because we know that you acting a plum boo, but we're not doing that no more. Come on, man. You're going to give it up. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Coming to church face all screwed up. Yeah, it's not the brother's fault. It's your fault. Sitting up there looking cute. Not giving the brother nothing. Huh. Talking about you a nun. Sending him to church like that. Looking all toe up. Can't even see straight. All right, number three. Number three. What does it say? You have to be sincere in your remorse and contrition. Okay? Mm-hmm. If you blew it, you got to fall on the sword. Yes. Honest, transparency, real, own it. Don't try to push on, own it. Right. And the thing is when you're owning it, you shouldn't constantly be owning it every day, all the time. Come on. But this needs to be a conversation, right, babe? Mm-hmm. So what you should do is the person that was offended, they write down all of the questions and everything that they want, right? Mm-hmm. And then they give it to the person that caused the offense. You have a conversation, they answer all your questions. Once they do that, they agree to never bring it up again. If you decide to move forward, now let me just say this. Time out. If you decide to move forward and you're saying, this is the person I want to be with, I want to make this work, I want to move forward with reconciling. You cannot bring it up every day and relitigate the adultery every day. So for months and
months. You can't do that to yourself. You can't do that to the person.
Here's what y'all got to do. Okay. Charmaine said it. I'm just going to say it another way.
Okay.
Every thought that's bothering you, put it on paper. Everything that you're unsure of, put it on paper.
Right.
And sit in process. It may take a day or 2 weeks, whatever. Get everything on a piece of paper and have a sit down and say, these are the questions I need to get from you. This is going to be a one-time situation. Let's be honest. Now, I've heard some people put a person on a lie detector test. Ooh, pressure.
And that answers that question right there. And what if they keep lying about it?
I understand that. So here's, and
they're not being honest.
Correct.
You can't move forward if they're not being honest.
It's hard to discern whether a person's lying or not. I know we all say they lying or this person lying, but
and the person that committed adultery, they may be lying because they're trying to protect their spouse, but they don't realize what they're doing is making it worse.
It's difficult, man.
The motives may not be malicious when they're lying, but it's still not helping the person heal. Does that make sense?
Correct. And I listen, I know I don't tell a fib or two. Okay. JOMO. Okay. Just to be clear. and you're trying to protect somebody.
Right.
That's what you're trying to do. But it's not right.
Right.
So I'm just so glad I'm out of that lane.
Yeah.
Because
you only have one life to live.
And you know, we've graduated that class. Right. And for us, it's too costly.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the pain. It's just too much.
Right.
I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want nobody to hurt me.
Right.
So we have to really walk this out in reference to how am I going to own it?
Right.
Okay, what's step 4, man?
Step 4.
Step 4 is you need to be able to process through your hurt. And this is kind of what she was saying. You got to process through your hurt, and you might even need some therapy.
Right.
For real. Process through your hurt.
And a therapist will help you be able to, because like JOMO said previously, you're traumatized. You've gone through a traumatic experience, and you may have triggers. Well, you're going to have triggers.
You're going to have some triggers.
You're going to have triggers. And you may need to be able to know how to process them mentally in order to get through the trauma that you suffered in your relationship in order to be able to move
I'm
forward.
having post-traumatic stress
Even
right now.
if you decide that you don't want to be married anymore, even if you decide you don't want to be married anymore, you still may need therapy. I would definitely consider it. I would definitely consider if you decide to stay together, get a therapist. Sometimes a therapist may say, let's have a few sessions by yourself and then bring the spouse in. Sometimes you may need to work on some things, and you may realize some past hurts or things that you may have been a part of the reason why all of this happened. Not that you're the cause of it. I'm not blaming the person, but you may be able to identify some things in you that you could do better.
Contributing factors.
Right.
Got it? Because sometimes I've seen people so locked in who trying to be who they are, they're not trying to be what a person needs.
That's good.
You're so locked in. This is who I am. I'm not going to change for nobody. This is who I am. You just you got
to accept me for who I am.
You better start dancing. I like dancing, and you need to dance.
Right.
I don't know how to dance. Take some dance lessons.
Something.
They got all kind of classes. We got a pole in our house, and I want you to start working on this pole.
Now he was just giving an example. We don't have a pole in our house.
But we can get one. Anyway, so my point to you is he or she might like pole dancers.
Right.
So if he or she likes pole dancers, you may want to get a pole in your house so they can stay at home.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Did I go too far?
You suggesting people getting poles in their house?
How
you explain it to the kids?
It's a form of dancing. Kids jump on poles all the time. They call it
jump on poles all the time.
I'm talking about the jungle gym. The jungle gym at school, the monkey bars. That's jumping on bars. Poles.
That is funny, JOMO. You are hilarious. All right.
Last point.
Oh, I thought we were done.
No,
we could do one more.
Last point, number 5. People often wonder. You want to stop? We weren't supposed to stop.
No, go. You can go to 5.
People often wonder how much detail should be shared about the affair. We kind of mentioned it. I'm going to read this where it says this.
What does the doctor say?
The doctor says, therefore, it is recommended for the betrayed spouse to make the list. Charmaine said that. And be answered honestly. And once you make that list, no more. So
he didn't really specify how deep to go into the
here's the thing, man.
Questions.
Well,
because the thing is
it's not going to help your mental.
You could cause more insecurities about yourself knowing too much about the experience.
What does he do that I can't do? Baby, you don't want to know that.
And it's not on you.
That's too much information. I saw a question that I want to touch on. I think the question was, what if they're family? What if? If
the person.
Whoa, time out.
Wait a minute. So if they were like cheating on like a sister or a cousin or something?
That's a whole nother level right there. Let me find that question. You so sick. What you gonna do, Charmaine? You ain't gonna do nothing to nobody.
That wouldn't be my cousin no more.
Oh. I think the question was, what if that person is family? Because we're talking about if something happened in the relationship, and I said move, and the person said, what if they are family? Yeah,
that's a different hurt.
Oh,
that's a different hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I would still get away if it means moving to another town, another spot. And here's the key aspect.
You want to start off with a clean slate. Like, you don't want to be looking at that person all the time.
You have to make a decision if you want to move forward.
Yes.
Whenever we counsel folk, we don't counsel like we used to. But whenever we used to counsel folk, we'd always say this. Number one, the person did it. We all agree. Yes. Right. Number two, do you want to move forward? Right. Because I want you to understand what moving forward entails.
Right.
Moving forward means you can't relitigate this.
Right.
Moving forward means you might have triggers.
It's going to be some more hurt.
You're going to be questioning.
It's going to be hard. It's hard.
Yeah, and oftentimes
it's easier to walk away.
Much easier
to work through it.
I tell her all the time.
But it's so worth it if you can.
I've told her, I said, babe, listen, marriage is hard. Let me help you. Marriage is work.
Yes.
It is not easy because oftentimes when things happen, fractures, different disappointments, people often separate because it's easier than trying to navigate through this pain together.
Right.
Okay. So that's what happens if it's in the family. Okay. I did that. I think that's the only question I had. How about virtual adultery? That's my way to call it. Pornography.
That's really tough.
Because
you can't get away from it.
Here's what I've learned. Okay.
It's an addiction.
I was addicted to porn. Okay. So here's what I realized. It's not going to help my relationship. Right. And also research states that if you watch too much pornography, it actually lowers your inhibition and you may not be able to perform. Real talk. That's research. So if I were a dude, I would stop it because I want everything to work right. Just me talking personally. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Because what happens, you get overstimulated.
Right.
So now
you can't match that stimulation in the bedroom.
So you're actually hurting yourself, and you may end up having some difficulties.
But the thing is as the other spouse, you can't stop the spouse from watching porn. They have to want to do it for themselves.
Amen.
Because it's an addiction.
Correct.
So that's something you all have to work on together.
Good stuff, Mr.
And they need counseling.
Good stuff. He was saying how him and his wife moved on through it. Praise God. So we have to really walk it out and bit by bit, piece by piece. But anyway, I pray that this evening blessed you.
Absolutely.
We're going to come back next week and we're going to finish up the last 5 of this segment.
You have LOP next week?
Is it LOP? It is
next week.
It is.
Are we going to do part 2 during LOP?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
But we have a special
guest. One of my good. He was an old member. Actually, I mentored him, and great couple. They're killing it in relationship couples.
My cousin
and her cousin.
Yeah.
And they actually coach couples. So we're gonna do a interview next week.
Right. It's going to be a special
time.
evening next week.
Yeah. So it's going to be
invite a friend.
Yeah, it's going to be a little longer, a little deeper. So check it out next week. Again, everything's free.
Special guests.
All you do is show up. Anyway, we love you. Hope you have a wonderful Friday night. We sure are going to have a wonderful Friday night.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Because when two come together, the Lord is in the midst. All right. We love you. Have a wonderful evening. Remember this. Love, laugh, and learn. God bless you.
Good night, everybody.